What is up, guys? Today we're talking about Raphael fight and what is the easiest way to approach it. First thing first, the very first thing that you need to do, and that's super important, is to make sure that Hope fights for you. On top of everything, not only that she must be there, you have to make sure that she doesn't die. If she dies, it's a problem. So every single moment that you have, cast Sanctuary on her and make sure that she's somewhere not very close to your team, because she can still take damage if she has Sanctuary. If Raphael casts a pretty, let's say, destructive fire spell, she can still take damage. So make sure she's somewhat away from your team. Not very far away, because she won't be able to heal, but somewhat away from the bulk of your team. Another thing, since the damage in this fight is primarily fire, make sure that you give fire a resistance to... There's potions for fire resistance. I currently use 2 potions on my 2 mages, because they are super important. I don't want them to die. But if you have 4 potions, you can give each and every one of your characters a potion of fire resistance. Thus, the fight is going to be extremely easy. And another thing that you must do in the beginning is to make sure that you cast the haste spell just before you start the fight. And this will give you incredible advantage in the beginning of the battle. Unfortunately, there seems to be some kind of a problem with that, because if I cast haste on 2 of my mages, on one of them always will miss his turn and the spell will disappear. I don't know whether this is the same for you. So at the end of the day, what I did is I just casted haste on one of my mages. It is what it is. And the final thing that you have to do before the fight starts is to make sure that Urgir joins your roster. I hope I pronounce his name correctly. He's super powerful ally. The biggest problem when it comes to Urgir, if he doesn't join you, is that he always have the highest initiative. He attacks you first. He basically attacks your team. They are all gathered together. He knocks them back, and all your concentration spells are gone. So that's super annoying, and is the main reason why you want to have this guy on your side. So this is the prerequisites. This is what you need to do in the beginning of the fight. So if I have to summarize, make sure that Hope is fighting for you. Cast haste on your mages. Give them all a potion of fire resistance if you have. If you don't, make sure that you have spell for fire resistance. And from this point on, what you need to do, in this particular case, I'm using 2 sorcerers and 2 paladins. But as you can imagine, on this particular fight, Raphael in the middle, there are 4 pillars, 2 of each of the sides, and 3 casters of each side. What I'm usually doing in the beginning is I'm knocking off one of the pillars by casting a lot of spells, and I am killing the mages on the right side, because there's also the Sister of Hope there. So at the end of the day, you can kill 3 mages plus a Sister of Hope plus a pillar in the first turn, which is going to be incredibly useful, because those particular mages with spears are super annoying, not only because they cast spells, but also because they can make sure that you drop your equipment, your weapon, and that's very annoying. So make sure you kill 3 of them in the very first round, so that you have to deal with 3 on the other side, which is not really the end of the day. And from this point on, the strategy is pretty simple. Kill the rest of the mages, and then destroy the rest of the pillars, and then kill Raphael. The most important thing is that you need to make sure that Hope always have Sanctuary. Nobody attacks Hope, and make sure that she's not, again, close to the bulk of your characters, because if this is the case, she's going to take damage. So make sure that she's somewhat away from them. Not very close to them, but not very away from them. If you manage to do that, you'll be healing your team and you won't have any issues whatsoever. The team composition doesn't really matter, to be honest. All you need to do is to make sure that you can blast the 3 mages on the right or on the left. It's totally up to you in the very first turn, so you don't have to deal with them casting spells all the time. If you manage to do that, really the team doesn't matter. As you can see, I don't even have a single summon in my team composition, and I destroy them without any issues whatsoever. And there's the last tip that I want to give you, and this is the fact that Hope can cast Divine Intervention. It can heal all your characters, and it can refresh everything, because it has the effect of as if she casts a long rest. So make sure that you cast that. I'm going to cast it in a certain situation in the fight, because my main character got blasted by Raphael. Fortunately, she died, so I have to cast Divine Intervention, and from this point on, I recharged all my spells, all my characters were full health, and Raphael was left alone to fight against my entire team, and from this point on, it wasn't really difficult to finish him off. So all in all, this fight isn't hard at all. If you follow these particular steps, you can destroy this battle without any issues whatsoever. Also, if you want to improvise, you can cast a certain spell on Raphael so that he cannot do anything. For instance, there's a spell that makes him dance. Unfortunately, I don't have it here to show. But at the end of the day, another possible solution is going to be to make sure that he's paralyzed or he's unable to act. Unfortunately, he can resist those spells quite easily, so it's a little bit of a risky move, but you can always save and load. It's totally up to you. At the end of the day, you just have fun with this game. Which brings me to the favorite part of the fight, and that's the music. The music of this fight is absolutely gorgeous. I literally did it like 2 or 3 times only because I love the music. I was fighting Raphael, I was listening to the music, and I was feeling good. It was a total blast. So, more or less, this is all I wanted to mention about the Raphael fight. And if you want, you can watch the video to the end, and you can see how I defeated Raphael. Again, without a lot of issues whatsoever. Of course, I could have played better, I could have selected better spells for the fight, but at the end of the day it wasn't really challenging. This is all I wanted to share. Definitely you can do it faster, you can do it better, but still it is not a challenging fight at all, not in the slightest. See you next time, guys. Take care.